Hey everybody, Miss Tracy here, and today we're here in Warframe checking out Octavia. She is my absolute favorite Warframe, and I'm going to tell you why she's so freaking awesome here in this video. I'm going to try to explain it as quickly as I can, but there's a lot to cover because she is a little bit in depth. So first, let's go to her arsenal and check out her abilities. So we have her mallet, resonator, metronome, and amp, and I'm going to explain these more in depth when we're actually in the game using them. But basically the mallet, the main thing it does is enemies shoot it and it causes damage to them. The resonator can pick up the mallet and move it around. The metronome can make people invisible, give them all kinds of other buffs too. And the amp makes the range and damage of the mallet 200%. Now there's a lot more involved, but like I said, I'll explain that when we're actually in game. Now, the special thing about Octavia is she has a manticore. That's her instrument. It's also like her weapon. So I'm going to go to her appearance here. And I'm going to hit right trigger to go to manticore. Now, there's no sound on mine because it sounds absolutely horrendous if I do have sound, because everything here changes her damage. So the percussion does her mallet. The bass does her resonator. I call it her rolly ball. And the melody does her metronome. And all these hits are different damage bits. And I'll explain, like I said, more as we go through. But basically, you want to set her up. You can make all kinds of fun songs. I have Another One Bites the Dust. And then I have this, which is silent. If I wasn't silent, oh God. That's what it sounds like. Over and over and over. So yeah, we turn that off. But I will explain more about what these beats do while we're in game. But basically, this is the best song you can have. This really, really increases her damage output, and it makes using her metronome really easy, which I'll explain more here in a second. So why don't I quit teasing you and actually go and show you how she works. Okay, we're here on Io on Jupiter, and this is a defense map, and it is my favorite map to use Octavia for. Now, I have my operator. You don't need to do this, but I have Zenark equipped, and I use the energizing dash to give her a little boost of energy here. Now, I'm going to use all of her abilities quickly, but I'm going to explain them as we go along. So, first off, I want to use her mallet, and I want the enemies to see her mallet. But I also want them to shoot her mallet instead of the cryopod. So I need to have it near the cryopod, but out where it's visible. So for this map, I'm going to pop it right here. Now, I don't have her mod on to do the two mallets, her augment, rather, not her mod. That's the partition mallet, and I'll show you guys that later. So I have pretty decent range here on her mallet. Now, I could have a little bit more range, but I'm going to go ahead and start. Also, I'm going to throw on her amp. That's her fourth move. That's going to make her range even bigger. That does 200% more damage and range to her mallet. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to stay out of the way, and I'm not going to shoot anything yet. I'm also going to use her metronome right now. I'm going to pop that. And the cool thing about her metronome is if you see these little rings around her, not the big one around the mallet, but the ones specifically around Octavia. If you're within those rings, you are Octavia, you can do buffs. Now, the first buff, oh, hang on, let me throw my mallet down again. The first and best buff is her invisibility. And with the song that I have equipped, it makes her invisibility really easy to activate. So you need to crouch on time to her beat. But for me, I just mash the button for this song, and she turns invisible. And if you see in the top of the screen there, that lasts about 32 seconds. And every time you fill it up to 100%, it refreshes at the time. So actually, it's 38 seconds right now because I have her extra duration on. Now, I don't know if you noticed that dropship, but what dropship, really? Because it just dropped the enemies and they were gone. So what is this metronome doing? I'm on wave 2 and I haven't fired a shot yet. I think I'm almost on wave 3. All the enemies are just dying. It's amazing. Because the mallet beats damage into enemies and it also draws their fire. And the more they shoot at it, the more damage it causes. So they're basically just causing more pain to themselves by shooting at it. You can just watch their health go down. Now it's small again. I'm going to amp it up again. Now, you do go through a lot of energy with Octavia, and I don't have her efficiency up very high because I have other stuff high, so I bring energy pads. Now, there's an augment for her mallet that gives her 2 mallets, but it decreases the range by 75% or 50 if you upgrade it. And I usually put one mallet here and one mallet on the other side, just in case. Because every once in a while, you'll get somebody back here that sneaks past to the cryopod. Go back to refreshing my invisibility. Popping my mallet out again. So you just really need to make sure that you pay attention to the countdown on the bottom right of your screen. And when that counts down, you need to put up a new mallet. You don't have to wait for the mallet to go away to put up a new mallet. Now, it's nice to just kind of hang out over here. You see what's going on. I can loot a little bit here and there. What I really, really don't want to do, and what everybody seems to do, that like allies do, is they like to stand on the mallet. Ooh, what's this? You know, or they think that to go invisible, you have to crouch on the mallet. Well, if you stand here, you're going to get shot. See, I'm taking a little bit of damage. They're not trying to shoot me. They're trying to shoot the mallet, and I'm getting in the way. Now, that also works if they throw, like, bombs at the mallet. You don't want to be nearby, because they can do damage. And you also don't want your mallet right up against the cryopod, because if they throw a bomb, it's going to damage the cryopod, too. Now, we're almost done with wave 5 here. Oops, I fired a shot. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and battle, but that only took 4 minutes, and I only shot once. So, put down my mallet again. Go invisible again. Now you see I haven't been using her second move at all. Her second move is called the Resonator, and I call it the Rolly Ball. And you'll see why here in a minute. I don't like to use it on defense missions. It's nice to have the mallet here in one spot, and if I throw the Rolly Ball down, it's going to move the mallet. But I'm going to show you now how it goes. So right now it's not moving around, but if I move around, it's going to kind of follow me around a little bit. And then it's also going to go chase down enemies, so it'll move a bit here and there. Now, the only problem with defense is that takes it away from the cryopod. Let's see, where's it going? Oops, I threw it out twice. Now, see, it went and picked up the mallet. Once the mallet is gone, it'll just run around itself, and it will calm enemies. It won't actually do much. It does actually a little bit of damage. It causes a little bit of blast damage, but you really need the mallet down for it to do anything. Now, if I had that augment on, I could have a mallet on the Rolly Ball and have a mallet down on the ground by the cryopod to do extra coverage. Now, I'm going to wait here another 20 seconds for it to drop the mallet. That's what it does when the resonator runs out and the mallet is still going. It'll drop the mallet wherever it is. So if it's following you around, it might drop it in a really weird spot. Like right now, if it dropped it, it's right on the cryopod, and that's not good. Try to get it over here. Come here. Also going to throw the amp down. Now the problem is with the Rolly Ball is it takes it away from the amp. The amp only has so much range. Right now it's covered though, so it's not too bad. Go back to invisible, and it dropped the mallet, so I'm going to move the mallet back to here. Now, nullifiers are my enemy. If that nullifier had gotten up the stairs, he would have taken away my mallet. He will also take away your invisibility, so make sure you watch out for them when you're doing Corpus missions. Let's see. I think I mentioned that the amp doubles the range and damage. Let's see what else. Oh, when I don't know if you noticed when I had the resonator up, there was like a little blue marker on it. Everybody can see that marker, and people usually wonder what the hell that is. So what's going on here? Who's left? Oh, every once in a while you get an enemy that's stuck like that and won't actually go and shoot the mallet. So I could continue here and go through quite a few waves, no problem, as long as I remember to keep my mallet up, unlike what I just did right then, and let it drop. Let's see, what other buffs does she have? When she has this metronome going on, she has the crouching buff where you do invisibility. She also has, if you jump around, that speed buff. She also has a constant armor buff if you're within the rings. So I'm constantly getting the armor buff, but if you're also near me and you're getting the rings, within the rings, you will get an armor buff too. And if you do timed shots, you will get a multi-shot buff. And if you do timed melee hits, you will get a damage buff for melee. So she has a lot of buffs. You see all the buffs she's got on the top of the screen there. It's just nuts. Now the amp does that damage multiplier for the mallet, but it also does a regular damage multiplier for anyone who's standing with these little in the amp range. Oopsie, it just went away. Why'd it go away? That's glitchy. Huh, but anyway, this range where these little things are is all in amp range. So everybody that's in it gets a damage buff. Up to 2 times. depending on how much strength you have on your mods. Now, and also it depends on the sound in the game, and it sounds really weird. But basically every noise, so those shots, me walking around, the enemy's footsteps, whatever that noise was they just made there, everything that makes noise. And if I had sound on my abilities here, it would all add to the damage multiplier of the amp. So every time they walk around, even when they're not shooting, they're still causing damage. And I think that's why the dropship is so deadly, because it makes so much damn noise. I think that's everything for explaining exactly how to use her. I'll show you the augment for the partition mallet here in a little bit. I'll bring it back here to IO. But I'm going to go ahead and exit here at 10 waves, even though I could stay much, much longer. I do have a video where she did 40 waves with a group. She can stay beyond that too. That video is one of my first Warframe videos, and it sounds like crap because my audio is horrible, but you're welcome to check it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to my ship and show you how I have her modded out. Alright, we're back on our ship, and we're going to check out the mods. But first, I totally forgot to tell you how you even get Octavia. Now, you can cheat and buy her from the market, like I did, because I had a 75% off coupon. Or you can do Octavia's Anthem. It's a quest. Shush, lady.
It will be marked on navigation.
Once you do the Anthem, you get her blueprint, and you still need to find the rest of her pieces. The chassis you can get from doing the music puzzle on Lua. It's basically a big Simon Says game. You can tell when you're in the music room because you'll hear music before you even get there. Now the neuroptics, they drop on rotation C of the Orc and Derelict. So that means after, Orc and Derelict survival specifically. So after 20 minutes, you get a chance to have that drop. And like I said, it's a chance. So you don't necessarily get it every time. It may take you quite a few times farming it. And the systems you can find in caches on the Lua Crossfire mission. So let's check out her mods.
Operator, did you hear that? It said... Cosmic background radiation is a riot.
So I have her regular loadout here. I'm going to eventually make config C her partition mallet loadout. Now when I put on partition mallet, I swap the ability duration here. It takes away a little bit of duration, which makes her invisibility less time and makes her have to cast her mallet a little more. But it does give you the 2 mallets, and I'll show you how to use those here in a minute. Now, she comes with the dash polarity here, so I usually rock Energy Siphon because, like I said, she goes through a lot of energy. You don't need to have Power Drift here. If you don't have an Exilus slot, it's no big deal. That just makes her mallet a little bit stronger and makes the enemies die a little faster. Now, I have these mods from the Orc and Derelict. You can find them in the vaults if you get lucky. Now, they're really important because you want to make her range as big as possible. You see I've got 217% range, and then it gets even more when you have an amp down. So I've overextended. I have that all the way up. But I have narrow-minded here, but I don't have it completely leveled up because I don't want to take away any more range than that. You can use regular continuity. I have prime, so it makes her duration really high. Augur Reach you can get on Cetus on the plains. More range. Blind Rage is also a derelict mod. It gives you more strength, but it takes away her efficiency. This one is not necessary either. You could go without that. You could have more efficiency and a little less strength, and it would make you be able to cast more without needing more energy, but it would make your stuff a little bit weaker. Now, it's like I said, it's not necessary. You can still do damage. I just like to do things quickly. So I have Flow on here. You could probably change this out to something else if you have a lot of energy pads or whatever. You can use regular Flow instead of Prime Flow too, but I like having a lot of energy with her. I mentioned the mallet already. Otherwise, I had Augur Message here for more duration. And then Stretch here is more range. Now, here is my index loadout. I do that a little differently. It's basically all the same, except I have Corrosive Projection here, which gets rid of some of their armor and makes them die a bit faster. And then the Coaction Drift makes the Corrosive Projection a bit stronger. And then I believe basically everything else is the same. Except I have Constitution here instead of Augur Message. Is that what is different? I think so. So I'm going to show you how the mallet works. But basically, you see here, I've got duration, efficiency, range, and strength. And my efficiency is really low. Makes it so you need more energy. It kind of stinks, but it's really not necessary for her to have the most damage output. The duration makes everything last longer, obviously. All of her moves use duration, range, and strength. So I recommend doing as much as possible, trying to keep your strength over 100% if you can. But even if you have negative strength, which is anything under 100%, you're still okay as long as you're not down to like less than 60. It just will take longer for things to kill themselves on the mallet. So we'll go back into IO and I'll show you how to use that partition mallet real quick. We're back on IO, but before we get started, I want to show you one other thing I forgot to mention. You can share Octavia songs. So I'm going to show you if you go into chat, and type it into squad because nobody's here, and you type in square bracket, song, square bracket, you can choose from your songs and you can share them with people. So I'm going to do can't see this, aimed at that because it makes it really easy to go invisible. And then the person can click on this while in their Mandicord. They can also hear it here by checking the preview. But when you go to your appearance and then go to Mandicord and then pull up your chat and click on that song, it will load your song into your Mandicord. It's super handy. And people can sell these songs for plat. I am willing to give out this song for my viewers. Don't mind plat tips, of course. But anyway, let's see. We've got the mallet here. Now look at the range is much smaller. So I'm going to get started. I'll put up the amp to make the range a little better at least. Now I have 2 mallets. So I'm going to put one way over here. Now you see I put it really far away from the first mallet. For some reason, if you put down the mallets really close together, sometimes it just takes away the first mallet, like it would if you didn't have the Augment on. Now this is handy because you get people in the back here. You know, I might throw it like right here instead. Let's adjust that. Now you see the first one stayed, but when I threw the second one again, it changed the second one, so that's nice. And it also increased the time for the first one. Now everything's still shooting here, but if I wanted to, and I had to get enemies off on the sides here, I would throw down this little rolly ball, pick up my second mallet, and bring it around with me. Now the only time it won't pick up the second mallet is if like the mallet's up too high, or sometimes it just glitches and for some reason won't pick up the mallet, and you just have to throw the mallet again to get it to pick it up. Oh, no, see the first mallet did drop before my time ran out, so I gotta pay attention to that. So in survival, this rolly ball is really helpful because you just wander around and it follows you around and kills enemies behind you. But like I said, here in defense, it's not as helpful. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but my mallet disappeared again. It seems to be a little glitchy. This partition mallet augment did just come out today. I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago on Xbox it came out. It's been out on PC for a little bit, but I don't know if all the kinks are worked out quite yet. Hopefully by the time you're watching this video, it's all fixed. I'm going to bring her other mallet over here just to make sure we hit that drop pad, or that drop chip. But see, even with the decreased range, I upgraded her mod all the way, so it's only 50% less range. But she's covering a ton of the map still. It is taking a little longer. I am having to use more energy. Like I said, I don't recommend this for defense missions. But let's say I was in survival and there was a big group of enemies in this one room. I can throw down my mallet and then I can go fight with my second mallet in another room and do twice as many enemies. It's pretty handy. It's also really good for index because you can guard both spots of the map. It's pretty nice. Alright, so I think that's everything I needed to tell you here about Octavia. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to help you the best I can. There is a lot to know about her, and there's more in-depth guides out there on her Mandicord. I do not have one myself, because I don't entirely get it all the way. I just made this one song, and it works really well, and that's what I'm sticking with. So let me know if you need anything else. Make sure you subscribe. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.